Okay. First thing is information, knowledge, wisdom, and transforming your life. So this is why I like to make this series more like meditative. So I will talk very slowly. You have time to absorb. So information turns into knowledge, knowledge turns into wisdom, and wisdom transforms your life. So you have to go along. So many things are required for that purpose. One thing is be in the present, be non-judgmental, become humble. These are the key words. Be vigilant, be attentive, and you get attuned to it, and then use consciousness and intuition, and with aliveness, all the information is digested and converted into real wisdom. Okay. So I want to talk about everything spontaneously. This is the newer book, which has some of it, and many other concepts are in other books. Okay. So I want to bring out the concept of creation. All the philosophies are made only to understand the existence of life. Even ancient philosophy, they are also used for explaining it. So I want to talk about Sankhya philosophy, which I have described in the eternal reality now. I would remove all the unnecessary detail and bring out the main concept so that it becomes useful for meditation. So how is the sound? Should I raise the volume or is it good? Good.
Perfect.
Picture is good?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I got the lamp also. Okay. So concept of God is Brahman. God that is eternal, never born, no boundaries, never dying. That means God existed before creation. God would exist after this destruction. That is the concept of Brahman. Same Brahman reflects in all living creature is called Atman. Okay. Brahman has no qualities, no form. So how do you create? For creation, you need two things. You need somebody who creates and you need the material. Carpenter needs wood to make furniture. A pot maker needs mud to make pots. But this is our normal case. God is like a dancer. God creates material from himself to create the world. So God is a dancer and creation is God's lila. Okay. Okay, nobody. So God's creation is God's dance. This is called his lila or divine play. So dancer can exist without dancing, but a dance cannot exist without dancer. Just think about it. Dancer can dance and can rest, but a dance requires a dancer. So God is a dancer and he creates a universe. So entire universe is permeated with God consciousness. That means everything we see, it is nothing but consciousness and energy. So God is within everything, in the rocks, minerals, plants, animals, insect, everywhere. So this is the concept of God. Our religious concept of God is God who created religion 5,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. These are limited aspects. The total scientific aspect is God is eternal. God cannot create because he's without quality and form. So God created energy from himself. So the word is Purusha and Prakriti. So God projected energy from himself, and God and his energy merged together like pregnant woman to create a child. And there are three forces of nature that interact on them to create the whole universe. So whole universe is either macrocosmic form, that is galaxies, mountains, rivers, everything, and microscopic form, which is all insects, human beings, all this. In microscopic form, God and goddess, God and energy together with three forces of nature created first the consciousness, that is I consciousness, then created intellect, then created mind, and then created all the living creatures from five basic fundamental elements. Five elements are earth, water, fire, air, and space. Also created five sense organs: seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. Each sense organ has sense object. Eyes see some object, ears hear something. So altogether, five basic elements, five sense organs, five motor organs, and five sense objects. These are 20 elements. Then mind, intellect, I consciousness, and unconscious mind. Altogether makes 24 elements. So 24 elements is entire universe. Entire universe is made up of 24 elements. Brahman or consciousness is not touched. So our body is made up of 24 elements. All elements are, or animals are made up of 24 elements. Everything is made of 24 elements. That is why I say from dirt we come and dirt we go. That means five basic elements from everything is created. Everything that is created is impermanent, changing constantly. Nothing is permanent. Everything that is born lives for a while and dies. Insects are born, live for a few seconds and die. Humans live for 100 years and then die. Some animals live for several hundred years. Some trees live for thousands of years. Mountains and rivers live for a longer time. Sun lives for a longer time. Ultimately, sun also dies. Only thing permanent is consciousness. And for meditation purpose, we are that consciousness. We have to experience who we are. God is supreme consciousness. Same thing reflects within us is our own consciousness. Brahman is universal consciousness. We are Atman, individual consciousness. Qualitatively, we have all the qualities of God. but we don't know it. Because of 24 elements, we are covered up. So meditation practice is to rise above all the coverings. So all the coverings of the material world, then our body, our senses, our mind, emotions, intellect. This is lifelong journey. This is called Maya. What is Maya? We are pure consciousness. And pure consciousness gets tangled with matter. It becomes Maya. That means consciousness tangles with matter, it gets into bondage. Consciousness doesn't have any size or shape. But when it tangles with the matter, it becomes the matter. Our greatest bondage is we as consciousness get tangled with the body. That is the Maya. This happens from the birth. We are connected with the body. We are totally brainwashed. And what happens is we forget I am the consciousness working through the body. Instead, we identify I'm the body. Body is called the field within which there are 5 senses. 5 senses react with 5 sense objects. We have 5 motor organs to act and 5 basic elements. Not only we react to all the sense organs, but mind receives it, emotions feel it, intellect analyzes it, eye consciousness is observing it. So we are observer. And still we have another faculty is unconscious mind or chitta. Everything we experience gets registered in the unconscious mind. And all those things are registered, controls our life. So we think we are controlling everything, where we have very little control. Our conscious mind has very little control. So coming to the point of meditation, we have to learn to separate ourselves as consciousness. We have to separate ourselves that I'm consciousness living within the body, I'm not the body. Then, same way, seeing, instead of I'm seeing, we say, my eyes are seeing, I'm not the eyes. Same way, you use hearing, tasting, touching. Same way, emotions. You are not the emotions, you are consciousness observing the emotions. You are the consciousness that watches the mind. Mind changes constantly. And something that watches changing mind, that I was thinking this way, now I'm thinking this way. I was feeling sad, now I feel happy. Then I feel angry. All these emotions change. There is constant observer or witness. So meditation technique is to free ourselves from 24 elements. So for practice, we'll start. Okay, so later on there is time, we'll go in detail. For practicing separation of consciousness from the body, from the senses, from the mind, there is technique. Technique is called negation, and then comes affirmation. Negation is analyzing I'm not the body. How do you analyze? I was 5 year old. I call myself I am. 50-year-old, you call yourself I am. You are 30 pounds, you are 100 pounds, you still call yourself I am. That means I am not the body. Same way, we are not all these things. So, simplest practical technique that I describe in all the books. Understanding the philosophy helps. Otherwise, you will be practicing it mechanically. So, the practice of meditation is to become introverted, going from outside to inward. To whatever extent you go inward, to that extent you have greater power. Even if you want to gain greater power, physical strength, you want to get wealth, you want to attain fame, whatever you want to attain, material success or spiritual success, you have to become introverted. This is the secret, becoming introverted. So all the negation is one by one, relaxing first, analyzing to see I'm not the body, I'm not the senses, I'm not the mind, I'm not the emotions, I'm not the intellect. Who am I then? Whatever is left, that is what I am. You cannot spot who you are, where you are. It is subtle existence that watches everything, still it is invisible. Besides our attachment to body, senses, and mind, we get attached to our possessions, my car, my house, my family, my children. All this attachment is getting connected with them, entangled with them. So you get entangled with the car, you become car because anything happens to car will hurt you. Same way, you are entangled to your belief or your emotions, then somebody hurts your feeling, you will be hurt. Somebody admires, you will be jumping up. Really, peace comes when you remain an observer, maintain mental equilibrium so that high emotions and low emotions don't control you. This is the practice of meditation. So, as you practice meditation, you become much more centered. You are coming to the center of a wheel. So, all the points on the wheel move around quickly, but the center doesn't change. So, this way you remain at the center. Body changes, thoughts change, emotions change. You have success or failure, honor or insult, you maintain equilibrium. This is the benefit of meditation practice. How do we go inward? There are so many techniques, torturing the body, torturing the mind. The simplest technique is get connected with who you are. Life begins when we are born. Breath enters, child cries, the breath enters the body. And at the time of death, breath leaves the body. So, breath is the fundamental thing that is life. But what is behind breath is prana. Breath is not only breath, but energy. So, we go from breath to the energy. Energy is not just energy, subtler part of energy is the mind. So we go to the mental aspect. But again, subtler than mind is consciousness. We go to the consciousness. And still subtler than and higher than consciousness is supreme consciousness. So the journey of meditation, going from outside to inward. So let's practice that. Be comfortable, relax your body, close your eyes, try to control nothing, try to do nothing. You just observe the breath as it comes in, observe the breath as it goes out. So beginner's practice is you travel with the breath. You identify with the breath. You are the consciousness, you are the mind that enters the body and leaves the body. After a while, you feel your existence as consciousness which has no boundaries, no time, no space. So you feel that. You don't have to torture the body or mind. You become aware that you are consciousness. When you go out of the body, you can exist without boundaries. You are free. When you go in the body, you become master of the body. So this way, you create the distance between your consciousness and the body, and you become independent of the body. This way, as you train yourself, then things happen to you, you don't identify with the body. Generally, we identify with the body. I am hungry. Instead of that, you learn to say, my body is hungry. I'm not my body is hungry. So you create distance from your body. Then you are in pain. You say, I am in pain. You are not in pain. Your body is in pain. Because of identity, we become the body. For example, if you got anesthetic needle in your arm's still there, but you don't feel it. So by disconnecting your consciousness from the arm, you don't feel pleasure or pain. Same way, if we disconnect our consciousness from the body, senses, and mind, to whatever extent we do, to that extent we become free from all the slavery of the body and senses. So for now, just close the eyes, practice for a few moments, watch the breath, try not to control. If it is slow, it is all right. It's fast, is all right. You become more relaxed. Instead of controlling it, you just observe the breath and you find freedom. What happens as you do this, your breath slows down. Instead of 15 to 20 breaths per minute, it will slow down to 10 or 5 breaths per minute. You don't have to worry about it, but it automatically will happen. When breath slows down, mind slows down. When mind slows down, it goes into higher state of brain waves from beta wave to alpha wave to theta wave or delta wave. Or other way, mind is withdrawn from the body, senses, and the world. Mind goes into the source, which is consciousness. So you become one with consciousness. So you do this, continue, and you will experience peace. You don't have to look for any miracles, any light or anything. You will feel the peace. That is through meditation.